This big cat was trapped in the iron entrance while running away from home. A rescue team got the call and reached that place. The cat was very angry. Local people tried to rescue her, but due to the cat's anger, they got injured. The rescue team covered her with a towel so that her nails could not injure the team and she feels comfortable. The team could get the cat out, but the poor baby didn't breathe. The team tried to get the cat to breathe. After blinking her eyes, the team realized she was alive. She was very hungry because of all the hard work, so the team gave her something to eat, then analyzed her body. But her body was not injured. Everything is all right now. This story is very similar to the previous one, but the dog was in much worse condition. The puppy looked terrible on the street. He looked really starving. People took him home. Now he's clean, well-fed, and happy. We are so glad for him. Firefighters received a smoke alarm at the house and rushed to the rescue. Firefighters found a small kitchen fire and extinguished the fire, checked for extension, and vented. No humans were found in the search. However, 4 dogs were removed alive from the dwelling and in care of EMS. Luckily, they were saved. One rescue team was called to help a small dog with its head stuck in a wall and unable to free himself. He was very scared and panicked. To make matters worse, his body was now trapped in a small pool of water. He was distressed and scared. The people worked out to free him. He was crying so desperately. Finally, they got him. He was checked up and washed. The boy walked away on his way. A happy end. The kitten had somehow gotten stuck in a washing machine. It's pretty mysterious. He was crying so loudly. Rescuers rushed to help him. The man spent some time to carefully cut the machine around the baby's head. Poor baby, how did you get in there? After the successful rescue, the man took her home to clean and let her rest a little bit. Now this baby is Chi-Chan, a pretty name for the pretty girl. Now they are looking for people who will become Taya-san's new family.
Oh, what happens when a squirrel gets stuck in the drain thing? Okay.
Silly little squirrel got stuck in a drain system. The grass grew very tight to the pipe. That's why she couldn't get out. People dug around to get the poor fellow out. Finally, the squirrel is free, so people need to walk away because the squirrel is so afraid. Bye and take care, pretty squirrel. And now look at this incredible second chance story, which of course has a happy ending. A FPWC rescue team rescued a bear cub that had been caught in a trap. He was screaming and crying. The baby was estimated to be only a year old. The rescue team found this poor fellow in a scared and fragile state, desperately attempting to free himself from a leash. It was tightly wrapped around his neck. The bear was tranquilized from a safe and elevated position. It allowed to get close to the bear and provide urgent medical treatment. We cannot imagine how terrified he must have been feeling. Rescuers identified a safe release site nearby and moved the bear to this location before releasing him. Finally, the cub woke up, shaking himself off and disappearing into the dense vegetation. Be careful next time, buddy. A rescue team received a text about a homeless dog by a busy road. The doggy managed to remain safe until rescuers arrived. So they were trying to catch her. It was not easy. It's so important to be patient and wait for the right moment. Finally, they could catch her. She was pretty nervous, but volunteers calmed her down. Rescuers decided to name the beautiful dog Freya. After removing all the ticks and all the dirt, she looked like a different dog. Freya was exhausted from life on the streets and needed a really nice long nap. This strong and kind man managed to rescue a baby deer. The poor baby got into a drain. It was hard to free the deer, but the man did it. The baby was crying so desperately, but was finally saved and returned to mom. Kuzya's owner worked as security at a parking lot. He passed away a year ago. After that, Kuzya got a tumor, which eventually became bigger and bigger. The security guys of this parking lot knew Kuzya since he was a puppy. They promised the owner to take care of Kuzya. Everyone here loves him. It was not easy to catch him. Kuzya felt something was going to happen, and he didn't allow anyone to touch him. Finally, he was in the car on the way to the vet. The vet said that the tumor needed to be removed immediately. They are preparing Kuzya for surgery. The surgery was successful and Kuzya is getting better. He returned home where he is very much awaited. A few months later, rescuers came to visit Kuzya. He looks much better. He has a great appetite and keeps guarding the parking lot. So he lives a full and happy life. A man heard some meows from inside the trailer. Look here, a poor baby kitten had fallen into a barrel with water. He was crying. Look at him. No. He's so dirty and wet. No mom around. Poor baby. The CCTV camera caught the kitten falling down by itself while playing with his brothers. The baby was wet and shaking from the cold. After rescuing, the baby got a name, Lilo. And now this guy became an unexpected addition to the big family. Now he receives a lot of love. This poor coyote fell into a fishing pool. He pressed himself to the corner of the pool, trying not to drown. Rescuers tied a rope around his head and pulled him up. It was hard for every member of the mission. But it was also a challenge to take this rope out. This guy was so scared. He wasn't used to being around humans. After being released from the rope, he rushed away out into the wildlife. So the story has a happy ending. This kitten somehow got stuck between big old bricks. He was crying in pain and calling for help. Fortunately, kind people helped him. Now he is all right. In the next story, Lily the dog was rescued from the frozen river. Look at this ice! Freezing cold! It was a big mission to rescue him. The rescuer wore special equipment so as not to get frozen. Finally, everyone was fine and warmed up, and Lily came back to her owner. This poor fellow got stuck in a hammock. His big antler was tangled in it. He got really nervous because of that. A man helped helped the deer to get out. What a relief! So, best of luck to this beautiful deer. One day, a rescue team saw an incident on their way. A bike had badly hit a kitten who was in search of food from trash. How could someone be so careless? Rescuers stopped and hurriedly checked him. He was crying but had no external injuries. They fed him at a safe place and then took him for checkup. What did the vet tell them after examining him? They picked and examined him all over, but found no external injuries. He was so hungry and quickly ate all the food. He was underweight. After that, the people took him to the shelter. He was not so trusting and was observing the environment all the time. After shifting him with some other rescued kittens, his stress has gone. Now he plays a lot. People named him Oliver. He's getting active day by day. That was really a life-changing story. Paramedics rushed to retrieve a dog who was stuck in a barbed wire fence. The dog was calm and cooperative and happy to be saved. It was a big challenge to cut the barbed wire off to free the dog. Obviously, he's stressed, so he's snapping at rescuers. Also, he was all tangled in there. Rescuers were trying to catch the dog the most distance from the animal. Not sure how he got up there, but when the dog made it down to the ground, you could tell he was pretty happy. The guy was reunited with his owners. Now it's all in the past. Recently, these people were walking past the animal market when they heard a puppy screaming. They went close to him and he was continuously crying. It was a hot day and this innocent soul was alone there. Someone informed him that he had been thrown here at the back of the market due to an unsuccessful deal. How could someone do this? As long as we put him on the ground immediately, he tried to hide himself in the space between big stones. He's trying to hide. He felt thirsty and hungry, so the rescuers took him to a safe place to feed him. He might have been hungry for a long time. Welcome him to the shelter. He didn't observe his new place unlike other rescued puppies. He just fell asleep after all those stressful days. After a good rest, he got a nice bath. Suddenly, he started wagging his tail. It means he adores this place. Shelter workers named him Cooper. Also, he can enjoy games with his new friend. This little fawn got trapped in the pond. Time for a rescue. The poor baby was crying and calling for mom.
Oh, careful, careful.
The rescuer got down in the pond and pulled the baby by the back leg and got her out. She was exhausted though, and so stressed out. Poor baby. Come back to your mom and be careful, sweetie. This girl was found abandoned and in bad condition. She was nervous while being rescued. After that, she got a desirable freedom walk. 2 weeks later, she was much better. You're safe now, baby. This poor fox needed help after getting her head stuck between two fence posts. With sharp nails and a tight gap preventing her removal, rescuers had to think on their feet to try and get her to safety. It was so tight and the head was well stuck. Looks really painful. The mission was complicated. The young fox seemed absolutely wedged in and couldn't move at all. So people cut the bottom of the wood off and then it would be possible to save the foxy. Here we go, the fox was saved. Amazingly, the young fox was not injured. The fox ran back to freedom. This angry cat got in trouble. His leg got stuck in a net. So aggressive, he wouldn't trust people at all. So much stress for this baby. He was screaming so desperately and aggressively. After realizing, he ran away so fast to his mom. Hermione was abandoned in a forest. She lived there for a year until one day she stepped to a rusty coyote trap. The rescue team were asked to save her life. A human trap was set, but Hermione wouldn't walk into it. From a distance, you can see how the heavy metal trap crushed her foot. The trap caused a lot of pain, so she kept licking her wound for comfort. All of a sudden, Hermione got spooked and retreated back into the woods. They realized they need a soccer net, so they had prepared a big plan. It was not easy to catch her. After a year with no human contact, they finally had her. After the mission, they rushed to the hospital. After 6 long, painful days, the rusty trap was finally off. After a few days recovering, Hermione spent the next 3 days on the road, driving across the United States. Every day, she lost a couple of bones from her rotting paw. Hermione had 2 surgeries to construct a new paw for her. The healing process took a couple of months. Finally, her leg is healthy. She can walk as she used to before getting into a trap.
I'm not going to be able to swim for much longer. Here you go. Here you go. Nope. Well, you gotta let me help you.
Sam the dog was chasing the bunny, and this poor bunny jumped into a pool to hide. The dog owner started to rescue him. At first, he called the rabbit to swim up the stairs. After that, he used a net. The man pulled out the wet bunny from the pool. The guy was very tired. He's trying to be very smart and run away from Sam the dog. This is an amazing dog and snake encounter. The black good boy met a snake. Probably they had a little fight. That's why the dog was carrying the snake in his mouth. The owner carefully took the snake and checked to see if she was all right. The people released the snake to freedom. And the dog was told that it's not good to maim and bite snakes. In Kharkiv, rescuers saved a kitten while extinguishing a fire caused by a rocket attack on a restaurant and hotel. The rescuers, wearing full firefighting gear, battled raging flames and smoke to pull the kitten out. This time, firefighters were recorded rescuing a small ferry survivor, a gray and white kitten. The baby was under a metal chair in the rubble of a hotel restaurant complex. Look how the firefighters petting and cuddling the cat. So sweet. They carried the fellow boy to safety. One used water from a fire truck to wipe it down in his arms. The poor baby was so dirty. What a relief. He's alive and safe. Meet Rudos. He was chained on a hill with no water or food and no shade. It was certain death. He was very aggressive and tried to bite rescuers to protect himself. With a skinny body, but his neck was a very heavy chain. How could they do that to this little soul? Finally, the rescue team got him and visited the vet to check on him. He feels so comfortable and ate such a good meal that he had never rested as before. On day 15, our Rudos got adopted to a kind woman. Happy forever home, Rudos. One of the chicks born on Christmas Day was missing. So later, owners realized that the baby got stuck in a drain pipe. The saving operation has started. The baby was hiding in this pipe. He seemed very scared.
Next section. Oh, nicely movement.
Thanks, jammed in there.
Yeah.
Come on, don't be afraid. Let's reunite you with your mum.
You fried.
Oh, it's kind of, it's like being back inside the egg. Its legs are all...
Sorry, little fella. There we go.
Yeah, we got traction. I shouldn't laugh.
Oh. My God. And he climbed in one.
Hello, let's get you a drink, shall we? And then we'll reunite you with your mum.
This puppy was at a local kill shelter. Rescuers knew he needed help immediately. It's scary to see. This baby is in really bad condition. After getting more love and care, he started coming out of his shell. He needs love and a lot of kisses. Soon his skin started healing, and now he wants a family of his own. Be healthy, Flounder. In the next rescue story, a fox needs to be rescued after getting stuck in a pond in a net. Luckily, the rescue team were soon on scene to help the poor thing. Very soggy looking fox, but everything was working. Now you're ready to go, Foxy? But it's not very friendly to bite your rescuers. That was a quick and risky release. The fox went off really well. She was saved, healthy, and free to go to her family. Usually we show you how people save animals. But look at this rescue. Not a man, but a dog is saving a cat. What a brave boy. After successfully rescuing the cat, the dog almost needed to be rescued as well. But luckily, everyone was safe. That was a really cool act. A poor kitten fell into a river. The watermarks from her trying to get out is so sad. She's such a smart kitty, she used that blanket and saved herself. Be careful, sweet baby. Chloe Adams was home alone as floodwater started to fill her one-story house. She was completely terrified because the water was still rising as they were on the roof. It soon became clear that she had to evacuate, but there was a problem. Her dog, Sandy. When Chloe found out her dog couldn't swim, she needed to find something that she could float on. Sandy, a mixed breed, has been Chloe's constant companion since she was a little girl. Just a girl and her dog looking out on their devastated neighborhood. But 5 hours later, Hope, her cousin, paddled to the rescue in a kayak. Chloe allowed Sandy to be rescued first. She's been the teen's very best friend, so she could not leave her on the rooftop. This is what true friendship can do. One night, a volunteer, Philip, was driving home a group of people from the Ukrainian border, and that's where he ran into this fox. This fox was hit by a car. This poor animal was found lying on the street. He was almost completely frozen solid. Also, the fox has a massive wound on his head. The man decided to rescue him. Philip turned the seat warmer to max. He had no idea what to do with the animal. The fox might have rabies, so that was a moral dilemma to take the baby. He took him to the Poland vet at 2 a.m. Philip had been dreaming about a fox as a pet for his whole life, and he thought that this is his moment. The vet said that there is no animal in Poland with a higher chance of having rabies than the fox. Unfortunately, in Poland, in most of the cases, the vet will put it down. Rice Bowl needs to stay for 2 weeks to check out for rabies. The vet said that the fox is clean, but later they found out that the fox didn't make it. That's so sad. Rest in peace, sweetheart. This lonely kitty wouldn't stop following these people home. After picking him up, people noticed this poor thing was missing a leg. Also, he was covered in fleas and exhausted. This family took the kitten to the vet immediately and scheduled surgery to close up his wound. Everyone meet Tipsy, a new member of this lovely family. This horse somehow got stuck in a hole. People were trying to get her out for a few hours. The horse looked so miserable in that deep hole. Look at her struggling face. What a relief. She was finally free. This guy jumped into action after watching. A baby deer fell into his swimming pool. The man took the baby out of the pool easily. In the end, the deer was completely fine. Go back to your mom, baby. People found these two newborn innocent kittens crying for help. Oh God, they're just a day or two old. These people have a cat, Coco, and fortunately, a week ago she gave birth to 4 kittens. Therefore, they took the kittens home, hoping that Coco would accept and shelter them. Mama Coco has a very big heart. She adopted these 2 little babies and fed them. God bless you, Mama Coco. They are also very relaxed with their new siblings. It's so adorable to see. We're so glad for them. This rescuer had never seen a dog in such rough shape before. The poor fellow was emaciated. You could see every bone in his body. He didn't have much fur. It really seemed like each step he took, it was incredibly painful for him. The kind woman took him home. At home, he almost seemed lifeless. He was terrified. But there was some hope in his eyes. The rehab had started. The first moment when he walked towards the toy box was such a special moment. He was looking so strong and happy. His new owners really started to see a change in his energy levels. This beagle could barely walk when he was pulled from the shelter. Now he races up the stairs like a puppy to his mom. Look at him now. This is a really epic video. This cat jumped out of the fire. It's scary to imagine what he went through. His tail and back were burned. So upsetting seeing that. I'm just glad he was smart enough to jump. A girl, Lalabé, found this little guy in her backyard. He was really angry the first time, hungry, scared, and full of fleas. Lalabé wasn't sure what to do with him. They started to remove his fleas one by one and feeding him with warm, sweet milk. He was starving. He met some new friends. Also, he was introduced to Cuddles. After that, his new owners took him to the first vet visit. He's healthy. He started to trust this family and become best friends with the smaller dog. Day after day, he's growing up to become such a handsome boy. Look at this rescue of puppies that live on dangerous train tracks. They desperately need a new home. They were starving and ate with a big appetite. A man from the rescue team took the babies to the shelter to take care of them and find a new home. Until they don't have a real home, the rescuer made them a toy house where they can play and sleep together. Such handsome babies now in a safe and loving place. We are truly glad for them. Miss Toobles needs prayers. People noticed her abandoned and in bad condition. On the way home from the vet, she stopped breathing. People had to pull over to help her. She is back, but she still has a long way to go. With care and love from her new family, she will be all right. This poor dog got stuck in a fence. She was crying for help. It's a mystery how she got there. She looked really hurt. Finally, people helped her to freedom. Lucky girl. This girl was introduced to this lonely cat who got on the side of a very busy road. She immediately brought him to the vet for a checkup, and where he was a good trooper. And then he was brought to Shanghai. The girl learned very quickly that he is a total ham and he is obsessed with this rolly ball more than anything else in life. Welcome, little buddy, to the loving family. One of the crew opened up the porthole and saw this little bird swimming on the waves. They picked him up and brought him into the cab. Also, people fed him some crackers and gave him some fresh water. He ate and drank with his tiny beak. Look, he felt really comfortable on the human hair. The small guy was pretty excited to see the land. He flew away near the shore and sang, "Thanks." Wow, those were really sad and heartwarming stories. Do you know some sad story about an animal? Share in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you.